Hi there, and welcome to episode 14 of the Spaceblock series. I'm Icon, and today I'm trying to achieve blue science. I hope the time will be sufficient to get everything done. It's a pretty huge task that's up ahead of us, but we're going to manage nevertheless. So we got to do a advanced circuit array and a engine array. I want to start out with the engines today because in the last episode I did already some electronic circuit production and I wanted to have some distance between that. So let's start out with the engines. We're gonna need a lot of material here. So first off, we're going to need 5 iron plates per second for the steel. So let's see, how much is that in terms of smelters? So yeah, it's 16 smelters. We'll have to dedicate 16 smelters to the steel. I assumed as much, but I wanted to know for sure. So that means 16 of them are for the steel and 13 of them are for the gear wheels and the pipes. So we will allocate that accordingly. Now, the first real big question is, where the heck are we going to build that? So we got enough landfill to open up new venues here, but slowly but steadily landfill turns into my next necessity where I want to amp up my production values, because as of late I keep using more and more terrain in my base and it's growing more and more difficult to keep up with the hunger of expansion of the factory with just the machines that I built up there. So for today we're going to have 16 of those. So I'm just wondering where we're going to build that. I think I'll be producing most of the coal necessary down here. I really do like how that looks for me, so we're going to put it up just there. So one for the inserter, one for the belt, one another for the inserter, and there we go. So that's gonna be 5, 6, and 7 on this side. 6 on those. Alright. Yep. And now we get to do our usual game of inserter madness. Oh, this won't work for that side. So, no, I need to put this like that. It's really, really important that we don't get tricked by the inserter directions. I have lost track of these things so often lately. That's one of the things that's really, in my opinion, most difficult about Spaceblock. To get all these crazy inserter actions going. Okay, so that's gonna be the coal production for only this array. 13, just for the engines. But the good side about that is we don't need any external resources. There's never any need for coal patches, mining, whatever. No logistics, in a larger scale, that is. Really enjoy that. Well, you know, this is a very, very fine moment for the larger power poles. There we go. Okay, so we already got the coal business down. Now, where do I build that? So, is that enough room here? I don't think so. Is that enough room here? I do think so. Okay, so let's see. That's 4, 5. Let's copy that. 10, 15, 16. Right. There we go. And output input. Steel is a little bit more nifty and difficult than other materials. So we're going to output onto the far side. Let's put a splitter on that. And get that whole thing loaded up. Okay. Now, large power pole time. Let's give those buggers what they need. Fresh pulp. And then it's going to be 16 of them. That's just going to be the iron production there. Okay, we're going to override the stack size right away. So let's check it out. All of them are like that. Yeah. Really important just for the space block, but it is as it is. And now we're going to put down another venue of these dudes. And then it works out oh so slightly. Okay. So there's two methods how I could do that. Ah, well, we're going to do it differently. I don't want the long-handed inserter solution. I want to do it more simple. So, here it goes. I got no interest in making it difficult. I can't avoid that, that is. Now, let's bring the pole over here. And the most complicated thing here will be that we'll have two inserters on this side, on this machinery. One for the pickup and one for the dropout. Going to make that. There we go. And at the end of this whole array goes a splitter, making sure that only, whoops, only the steel will be dropped down. There we go. Now, that's how it's going to work. Look at that. We can provide power like that. Isn't it beautiful? Okay, now the only thing we're missing is iron ore to provide that. This is one type of steel array that I hope it will work out as intended. And it's also going to provide the necessary coal for the rest of the array, so that's another thing I need to be aware of. Okay, so we did successfully kickstart this. Wonderful. Okay, so let's look back on our smart sheet of paper. So we'll need now 13 smelters for iron plates and 13 for 13 space matter furnaces for the other job. So the easiest way I see to get the job done now is going to be drop down a filter for the coal here and make sure we're going to have a clean coal output on this side. Because according to my formulas, we do have enough production here to satisfy everything. So let's see, how many of them will this be here? Is that 13? Please tell me that's 13. No! Oh man. Wouldn't it be awesome? Wouldn't it be totally great? Can we provide this somehow? I mean, that's 12 and that's 13, so, well, theoretically, but practically, it's gonna stay pretty uncool no matter what. So we're rather going to put it up like that. Whoops. So that's 6 of them. 12 and 13. Now, we'll have to pipe it like that somehow, I guess. Well, maybe we'll put the last one up here. It's gonna be a lot easier that way. And oh, look at that. It is already the far side of the belt is free, so we can easily duplicate our ore just as we please. But I'm noticing one thing, and that's a shortage of inserters. Let's change that. Alright. With the whole procedure, how I do it here, I do notice that pre-producing or producing my material on site makes sure that these arrays will always have a 100% throughput. Basically, since every one of these arrays is directly producing the stuff they need to keep producing non-stop, and the logistics pathways are rather short, it all boils down to an environment where, for example, my science arrays will be capable of producing their share non-stop, because we got the necessary materials directly on site. There's not going to be ever any calculation mistake or logistics mistake in between. Most likely not. It's going to slow us down. Because more often when I just build my other bases, it often ends up with designs where I'm like, okay, I produce now 60 iron plates per second. That's gonna be enough, isn't it? And I rarely truly calculate what I need, and therefore my whole arrays aren't as optimized as these will be. It's an interesting experience. But I also feel as if I could possibly do more effort than the whole situation is needing, you know? Okay. For example, with arrays like my starter base up here, which just produces in the mall stuff that I need, I went up with a production line which does produce lower amounts per second. Here, this one is only providing, I think it was 3 plates per second. No, it's 6 plates per second. So 6 plates each per second, and I think this was one steel bar per second. So this is by no means clean towards the ratios, but it's no problem at all, because, you know, these machines at the wall, they don't need to work at full efficiency at all times. So in case you're wondering what the hell I'm rambling about here, the thought process here goes as follows. I will not produce arrays like these if I'm not sure that they will be under pressure like 90% of the time. Every part of my factory that has to work on high efficiency at all times should have his resources produced directly on site. Every part of my factory that doesn't meet these criteria can be easily have their production or can have their materials from some sort of a bus, which is somehow connected to something. At least that's how I'm gonna roll now. Okay, so we're going to need one more for the iron gear wheels, but I was just wondering. So let's check this out. These are going to be put on that side of the belt. And, well, let's make it like that. This is nice. I just want to make sure that I'll just fuse these belts as quick as possible, you know. But if I am not mistaken, that should happen with this fancy contraption of mine. Okay. Yep, working as intended. Now, we got steel on that line, we got the other materials over there, so all we need to do now is connect. Yay! The engine factory is done! We got it! I'm a little bit proud of myself, if I might dare say so. Okay, so 14 more of these machines. I'll say we'll rile them up all the way down here, yeah. So that's 4, 8, 12, yeah, and 14. Wonderful. That's what I like to see. So we're going to bring the ingredients down that way. Oh, I did a mistake there. We need to place it down one grid further to this side. Okay. It's the engine array. It's only the engine array. And this is a small-scale operation here. This is only 60 signs per minute. That's part of the reason why I felt as if with this Spaceblock way of producing materials, I wanted to see how I'll fare with a low-scale production of signs. And yeah, now that I think more closely about it, it seems as if it was a wise choice. Alright, so we're going to have one basic inserter and one long-handed inserter and one basic inserter outputting. Okay, here we go. Can we drag and drop? Yeah, love it. These are the things I just love Factorio for. You know, you have so many large tasks, but the game really knows what you need and helps you with the stuff that you need. I really, really like how Factorio works there. Alright. Let the engines be made. Okay. So that's 2 out of 3 ingredients for our craziness here. And let's go over to the last ingredient, the red circuits. So, oops. This is probably not harder or more complicated or anything, but whew, it's just a lot of work to be done. But the good side of all of this, I'll get a nice stockpile of these red circuits, which I can grab wherever I want and whenever I want. So let's grab a couple of things. And with those things that I've grabbed off camera this time, we're going to start building our stuff. I just went over there and packed up the little things, landfill, whatnot. So for what it's worth, I think I'm going to use all the space here in between that I still can't pack up, because I just realized that here seems to be an excellent spot to smelter the iron plates that I'll need, and I'll also have the feeling as if I could produce here or somewhere around here. I will rather use this spot though. The coal necessary for the whole project, and yeah, there's a... I think if I want to double up my production ever, I need to just copy-paste that whole block. Well, I didn't think it would end like this, but actually it seems that it did. Now, I'm quite happy though with how things worked out here. And I am now expanding a little bit more into this direction here, because at the end of the day, we might be producing our parts over there. Room is more and more an issue here as our arrays grow larger and larger. I did assume that, but honestly, the sheer amount of room Spaceblock consumes with all that material production is quite insane. So after thinking about it, I'll do it differently. We're going to set down these 24 these 24 smelters over here. By the way, this is going to be the largest thing that I can build in one array, because with the way I set up my smelter arrays, I always use only half the belt with ore, so that means 7.5 is all that belt can carry. It's 12, 16, 20, and 24. Wonderful. It does work out though. So probably though, again, put up one of these bad boys up here, so I have a little bit of space below there to do stuff, you know? I always noticed in this game that I was very, very grateful for leaving a little bit of extra space here and there. Okay, so that's gonna be where we're smeltering the copper. So let's put up the iron production right next to that. Let's see, we can just copy until we have hit 10. You see that under the little icon here. Really useful function. And we're going to make it like that. And now we can't just copy that. Oh, wait a sec, we can't even copy it like that. Even better. So here we go. Alright. Now all that's left to do is to set up the coal production, which I'll be doing on this side this time. Yeah, we're going to do this like that. So that's 3, 8, and 12. And the coal will flow this time southwards, and I'll just split it over here and share it among those factories. I think this will be working out decently. The more often I do these thingies, the more routine we gain. That's something I really do like. So I think here, yeah, here sadly I can't just do the drag and drop, but I think I can if I do it like that. Naughty little autosave. As long as the assembler is in the recipe, it does work out. Okay, let's get those machines rolling. Right. As usual, starting to kickstarting the production before we need it is a very good way. And now let's do the same old, same old. And this time I can roll it on both directions. This is all so much more comfy than it was way back when. And now we're just going to slam down this dude here. Wait a sec. Output and input. Yeah. And overriding stack size. And this time we'll just be copying the smelter on top of that. And easy. And now I did disrespect one thing, and that's the output of my... Okay, whatever. That's what happens when you build too compact. But I think we are lucky, or no we aren't, because if I move that one grid further down the road, it doesn't work anymore. So, well, okay. Let me fix that. Luckily, we got robots to do our bidding here at this point, so what we'll need is it's all one grid more to the left, and then everything else here can stay as it is. It's no issue. So, are we going to export our plates into this or that direction? I'd say into this direction. Probably I'll also need a little bit more landfill down here to fill my belts with coal properly. Okay, so we're going to need this on the far side of the belt, actually. Okay, just setting up the logistics before we actually need it. Here we go. Luckily, this is the hardest part of that whole deal here. And after that's been done, we're gonna have no more problems here because we're basically just plugging together parts that will work together fine. Okay, so now what we'll need is the injection of coal. Wait a sec. Alright, so one splitter. And let's see. This should be just easy like that. Nope. Here it goes. And this one should just be easy like that as well. But maybe I'll output the plates into the northern direction, because that does seem to be the easier way to do it. Alright, let's just fix those drunk pieces of belt. And then everything should be fine. Okay, now we got all that. This should be working out as intended. The only thing I am not agreeing with is the output direction of the plates. That's something we're fixing right as I'm speaking. And yeah, that's gonna be the necessary plate madness for our red circuits. That's all just for the production of 1.5 red circuits per second. It's always what baffles me the most, considering that this is only for such small amounts of product. It's amazing. Okay, let's load up these dudes. And load up them dudes. I'm pretty sure that this will be not enough copper ore to get the job done, but we'll have to start somewhere, you know. Okay. This could be the most compact and daring array that I've built so far. Let's see how much malfunctions it will have. How many malfunctions, I should rather say. Please forgive my electrical chaos. Okay, that's that. I mean, well, it does work out as intended at the first glance. Good stuff. There's only a problem at this dude here. But oh yeah, he's starving down here, so we'll have to put that thing... Oh yeah, right. Oh no! We got issues, but not for long. We're just going to grab our coal from a faraway spot for this dude. Like I said, malfunctions. But it ain't that much of a problem when we're just grabbing that stuff from there, but he doesn't get any iron ore either. Dang. So this is a bit of a tragedy. No. All that effort only to see one... Yeah, you know. We're just going to accept that this array is not working on full capacity, and I think I'll just smack in some landfill in between the episodes and get that problem out of the world. Okay. It's a little bit annoying to me, but you know, I guess I just have to accept it. My plan is going to expand this a little bit down there and just give it a little bit more room. But for now, it doesn't really matter that much. The whole thing will work out as intended. We'll have to fire up a couple more of those, but, you know, one thing at a time. So, let's see. We won't be needing any copper for... We're not going to need any copper for anything else than the production of circuits. Okay. So, we're going to need 9 of them there, and... Are we really producing 15 copper cables per second for this one? Am I seeing that correctly? Yes, we are. Neat. So finally, there's a good reason to whip out the red belt. I love it. Because red belt can carry 15 products per type on one half of the belt, and this is what we're going to need here. Because otherwise, we won't be able to transport all the output of these. Okay. So let's put this down like that. And let's see, this whole thing needs 7.5 plates per second, so yeah, working. So we're only going to need 1 fast inserter per side. Good stuff. And now goes down the red belt. Okay. So the red belt will be used for these. Let's pipe over the metal plates there. Well, you know what? Actually, now that I think about it, it's gonna be way better when we roll like that. Just let it flow like this. Correct that real quickly, because, you know, the next thing we need will be those electronic circuit factories, and it'd be a shame if we'd need to carry the product over there. Okay, so all these shenanigans are only meant to produce these circuits, and you know what? We're going to make one. I know it's going to be a wee bit of a overproduction, but what are we doing here? So let's do this like that. We can use small power poles because we need to use 2 per side anyways. All right. And then going to do something nutty here. We're going to output these green circuits onto red belts. Melt these 2 together. And bring it all over to here, to this place. There we go. I'm not sure if it was really necessary to do this like that, but let's do it here. So now, the easiest thing to do will be to pipe over the plastic to this place. That's something where I feel like I did a bad job. Plastic production could have been way closer to the circuit production there. That would have been very, very beneficial, actually. But the more you know. Factorio ain't Factorio if you're not cooking some nice and messy spaghetti, you know? Okay, so that's that. And 12 of these assemblers we need to host now. God. And I've broken my rule of where I want to have these things going. Oh no. Let's conserve my rule. We can do. So these dudes will be, let's see, I'll need it like that. So 4. 8, and we can't fit in 12 down there. Too bad. Well, whatever. We're going to make it like that then. So that's 8 on this side, and let's do this like that. 6 on each side. And we're just going to loop the material around the factories. That's the easiest part. And we're going to cut the episode as soon as I have produced the red science packs, the red circuits here, because producing the blue science packs and whipping up the laboratory and all these things is going to be enough for the next episode for sure. And then I can also think about what we're going to do in the next after the next episode. So there's a couple of things that are just quite nice if we can put them up like that. Oh, I did a mistake there. Well, it doesn't matter. Gonna replace those with red bells later, or not. Not sure if that's actually worth it, because we only need to transport 6 of these copper cables on the remaining belt. Like 9 of these cables are being grabbed from this side anyway, so it's not that much of an issue, I think. Don't know though, to be honest. Now let's plug in the inserters for all this and enjoy red circuits. It's all fun and games until you hit blue circuits. Then the whole madness starts again. Alrighty, thanks everybody for watching. It's been my pleasure. We're of course going to plug this thing in before I really turn out the video, but I thought it's a good moment to think about the outro. So we're going to have, with the next episode, the big pleasure of plugging in our laboratory. I'm also going to build that laboratory at the same time. So big news. We're also going to start producing blue science packs then and have access to new technology. So there's a lot of exciting stuff going on there. Anywho, thanks for watching. Comments down below. Thumbs up for more visibility if you want to support. And of course, check out the channel. Daily videos coming up there. I'd be delighted if you check them out. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.